think it was, what was it, 18? Just got tired of it, kicked me out. So basically, I lived this street for 2 years. I was just trying to bounce around, see where I could stay at. People's backyard, my friends' backyard, and stuff like this. So that could have been drug dealer, that could have been dead, that could have been shit, anything, man. At that time, I don't know why I never did that drug stuff, but I never did. I just sit there and watch them do it, watch them sell that and stuff like that, and I watch them do it every day. Go to the gym, come back, do the same thing every day. I was just fortunate to just start picking up basketball and start playing. And I just got lucky that some guy from some college said, Dennis, you want to play for us? I enjoyed it. I went balls out every time. I don't know. I just know how to go full speed. So when I was in college, I averaged like 27 points, 14, 15 rebounds a game. Trying to, get through school, try to get a degree and things, and whatever, when I finished school, I just, hope for the best.
We just had two other picks here in the second round that I'll give to you very quickly. Greg Dreiling went to Indiana, the big center, and Dennis Rodman, the youngster from Southeast Oklahoma State, went to Detroit as the 27th pick in the 1986 draft.
When he first came to Detroit, he was an innocent, beautiful person, but a little naive about, the world.
He was simple at that time. Like he would say, man, you don't know life till you just go out, get away from everybody, make a fire, cook your food outside, and just look at the stars.
I think the second or third year in the league, I actually figured out what I could do best: rebound, play defense. Basically, I just started learning how to perfect that. I just used to have my friends late at night, 3, 4 in the morning, go to the gym. I said, shoot the ball. Just shoot over here, shoot over here, shoot over there, shoot over there. I just sit there, react. I just practice a lot about the angle of the ball and the trajectory of it. You gotta let it break, it's gonna spin. You gotta magic and make it spin. When Michael shoot over here, I position myself right there. Now I hit the rim, it's boom, click and go back this way, boom, here, click and go that way, boom, that way, click here and go like this way.
For a very long time after he busted.
Pretty much like that rash. Hopefully that's
well, to myself, I'm doing an upload. Sorry, that was not my
Dennis Rodman was the fuck up person. He just fucks everything up. He's a pest. Shutting down whoever he wanted to. It was always a challenge. He was one of them players that had changed the game just by his presence.
I'll tell you, you talk about coaches' dreams. There aren't many players like him. Could be a player I'm more proud of than proud to be associated with.
He had a great
so whoever
relationship with Chuck Daly. Chuck was the only person that understood.
Let's say you got the upside. You're in here. Like your defense. Lock him here.
I remember one time I was working with Dennis, and then Chuck called me over and he said, just leave him alone. You don't put a saddle on a Mustang.
Were you considered a troublemaker on the court in college? Did you have that?
No. I built that in Detroit.
There's no disputing that Detroit is one of the most physical teams in the NBA, and it's all part of their strategy to take their opponents out of their rhythm.
In case you're wondering what
The
those
Detroit Pistons were the epitome of the physical, tough, hard-nosed brand of half-court basketball. They had big, strong guys in Langbeer, Mahorn, Rodman, Sally. They had a great defensive player in Joe Dumars. They had Isaiah Thomas.
They threatening the safety of the league's top.
Thomas. I don't think they cared.
At that time in the NBA, basically you do anything you want. Compared to today, 30 years ago, shit. Back then you could just sit there and just, literally beat people up and still get away with it without checking for anything. We're like a hockey team. Everyone wants to see us fight.
Rick Mahorn told me how to elbow and said, if you hit somebody, do it on purpose. Don't get a cheap foul. That's stupid. If you're gonna hit them, hit them.
They acquired the moniker the Bad Boys. You know, they played a tough, intimidating style, and a lot of people didn't like it because it was getting away from the beauty of basketball.
We weren't the league's favorite. We weren't the pretty team that had got invited to the Lakers and Celtics party. When we showed up, it was almost like we were crashing their party.
This is the way the game of basketball was played at the time. These guys on the other side may not be as talented, but when you do come to Detroit, you gonna get your ass whooped.
It's basically just, okay, we're bad, but we just start feeding into it. Next thing you know, we start to win.
The Pistons had overtaken the Celtics as kings of the Eastern Conference, and they're rolling along just as the Bulls are really starting to emerge.
In 86, 87, Jerry Krause made a head coaching hire. I think we all felt that we needed something different. This speaks to Jerry's strengths. He identified a young Bill Collins, who he felt would bring an energy and enthusiasm that a young team needed.
This is a game that we're going to have to go out and have high energy. We have a high energy level. Win tonight, we got tomorrow off. We spend all night in Los Angeles doing whatever you want to do about it. I don't care. Otherwise, you got to practice tomorrow.
Dougie was a breath of fresh air. You know, he believed in everything that I believed in. He wanted to win. He was an easy guy, great guy to play for.
Welcome, Jerry fans. This is the Chicago Sports Casino. Well, we know how he wins. He got kids.
Doug's energy on the sideline was unparalleled. He'd walk off the floor of the game and he would be drenched in sweat. I mean, he looked like he played.
Is respected. Above all, we get some rest. Detroit were 1-4 against them. And it's on national TV, and I want to beat those guys on Sunday.
The year before I came, the Bulls had been eliminated by Boston in the playoffs. The roster was a little thin at that time. I'd seen Michael play, but I really never had spent any time around him. Our second best player at the time was Charles Oakley, who was a vicious rebounder, brought a lot of toughness. You know, John Paxson was on that team, Dave Corzine.
And their head coach, Doug Collins.
The first game I coached, we went to Madison Square Garden. And the Knicks, they had Patrick Ewing, Bill Cartwright, and they were loaded. U.B. Brown, a Hall of Fame coach. 2 minutes to go in the game. The game was tied. I'm soaking wet with sweat. I've chewed my gum to a powder. It's around my mouth. And I saw this hand come out with a cup of water, and it was Michael Jordan. And he looked at me and he said, "Coach, you know, take a drink of that water, clean that stuff off your mouth. I'm not going to let you lose your first game."
Works again. All alone. Turn off the glass. 42 points.
Prepare for battle.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Maurice Farrell working on it. George to the basket, scored.
And he went out and scored like the last 10 points of the game, ended up with 50.
Michael Jordan setting a new Madison Square Garden record for an opposing player tonight, scoring 50 points.
On the walls, make Doug Collins a winner. His first time out. It is a happy Doug Collins on the far side.
I remember being on the plane, go back to Chicago, I said, wow, I mean, this guy is something like I've never seen before.
Doug and I went like this, you know. He designed the offense to support the way I played the game and the way he wanted to coach.
I think he loved my competitiveness. He understands that the greatest respect you can give a great player is to coach him and coach him hard. Michael's big thing was back to practice against me and I'll still win.
Doug always tried to maintain a competitive advantage in practice. I'll be with the starting five. And then next thing you know, in the middle of us winning, he put me with the second team.
There was one day at practice, he got upset, he thought I was cheating on the score. And he got upset and left practice. And we came back the next day and they were asking him, he talked to Michael since practice yesterday. I said, really haven't had a chance. And we will. And about that time, Michael came out. And I reached over and I grabbed him. I kissed him on the cheek. I said, I love him. He loves me.
Would you come here a second so we can kiss on TV here, please?
There we go.
Would you tell him everything is fine? Oh. Okay, we've kissed and made up.
I coached him for 3 years. From the 86-87 season through 88-89. When I was coaching him, he was the MVP of the league. He was the MVP of the All-Star game. He won the slam dunk competition. And he was a defensive player of the year.
Up court pass stolen by Jordan. Michael Jordan takes it post by post.
That's greatness, you know. I mean, he was now the best player.
Yeah.